Hello, America. Welcome back to another episode of the Bickering Gamers. Today's topic is Kirby.
I never win. I never win.
Hello, I'm number 102. True Darkness is passed out
He's taking
somewhere.
over for.
So I decided to take over him with the boops.
Oh. You know what? I'm gonna finally explain that. I'm gonna finally explain this. I'm gonna finally explain this because I don't think anyone will ever get it. When we start our voiceovers, it starts with this chime, and I call it the beep boop boops. So when we started, Tyler over here, fucking genius, has to continue the trend when we start the recording, and I can never win.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, today we're talking about
Kirby, the master.
Yeah, the destroyer of all worlds and planets and everything he loves and everything that is cute and adorable.
Galactus?
Boring game ever of just walking
Actually,
around.
yeah. Yeah, Rosemary here doesn't get it, but
You just walk around.
well, and you jump and you do cool things.
And you suck shit up. That's where the real.
All right, fine. Then all you do in Zelda is walk around.
No, you answer puddles.
Puzzles.
Puddles?
Oh yeah, because it's none of that.
Yeah, there's a little dog running
there
around named
is.
Puddles that you got to answer to. They call him that because
Well,
he's
there's
not
a
really
dog in
potty
Yoshi.
trained yet. So
There's a dog in Yoshi they call Poochie.
good point.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Poochie, I like
but it's
Poochie.
different
love
because
Poochie.
everything
Anyway.
is so adorable in
Yeah.
that game that you can't not be happy. Like,
Yeah, those games are way too goddamn happy.
Anyway.
Good thing we have Kirby destroying
Yoshi
EQ
story?
things to balance it out.
It truly eats everything now with the new supernova mode.
Oh yeah, that's really cool, Supernova.
I like how we're not talking
The
about
what?
Kirby anymore.
Well,
What's up?
See how
it's
boring
actually
it is?
in Kirby Triple Deluxe, the latest entry in the
Look, he has
series.
that supernova mode.
He has there's
And he
the
eats everything.
I don't
yeah,
like
the beanstalk he goes up has a special seed that when Kirby eats, he glows in an aura, and it makes his suction powers like a lot stronger. Like he can eat whole
He can take
trees
it,
or
maybe
something.
he can go
Holy
circle.
hell.
Yeah, and it's really cool because in Kirby's Return to Dreamland, the game on the Wii before it, it has an idea like that called super or like mega powers. Like you whatever it's called. You take it's when you sucked up a giant mook with the ability, and Kirby will just wreck it. But the thing is, they didn't have a lot of what people like about the supernova more is it has a lot more strategy because you can actually interact with the supernova, unlike the ability where you have to stand in the right position and then hit the button and then get the puzzle done.
That scared me when the lights go off.
And what was cool about Kirby's Return to Dreamland is because Sakurai started Kirby because he wanted to make the game for beginners. It was going to be a game called
You know what he wanted.
because he said it.
Maybe he wanted to make a boring game that weird people.
Yeah, again, she doesn't. You just ignore it throughout the video. She doesn't get it. But it's a game for. In fact, Kirby was supposed to be named Popo. It was Poco Adventure. It was about this little knight thing.
The Popo.
But the thing is, yes. But the thing is, before they made the sprite for Poco, they used a big round blob with arms and feet. And Sakurai liked that sprite so much, the placeholder so much better than the actual character. He used that, and he named it Kirby, which is rumored to be named after the lawyer Nintendo hired to defend Donkey Kong's rights.
Yeah.
His name was John Kirby. That was the defender who.
Yeah, I'm mixing up my names.
Yeah, there was another famous
mixing up
lawyer.
the origin of Mario's.
Yeah, Mario was his was their landlord.
Yeah, their landlord for Nintendo USA warehouses.
Yeah, when they first started to come over to the States.
Yeah, because
he helped them out a lot.
They couldn't pay for the rent. They couldn't pay for the warehouse, so he said, "Listen, you don't have to pay for it. Just use my name."
Right. Yeah. Exactly. You just immortalize me.
Yeah, use my name for this character you got here.
And in the first Kirby game for the Game Boy, it was a fun game. I got it done in like a half hour once, but the hard mode's where it gets difficult. She doesn't get it, but the hard part, the hard mode you get when you beat the game, that is difficult. Oh my god!
You know what I like? You know what I liked about Kirby? Kirby.
He eats everything.
Yeah.
And gains their abilities.
Yes, he is the devourer of worlds.
Yeah.
Eat your heart out, Galactus. Kirby can beat your ass.
Right.
You know.
Well,
It's
the thing is, the first Kirby it was a cool idea because the idea was you eat your enemy and you use the enemies
Gains the power.
I can't drag that over there.
and you use the enemies as projectiles to hit other enemies. It's really cool. Because for some reason when Kirby ingests something and spits it out, it becomes a star thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of stars.
Eat
my shit.
Yeah, he eats a lot of it. Seems like a black hole in my stomach.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think one testament to how popular Kirby had gotten was at one point he had his own anime.
Oh yeah, that was a while. That was
Like
really
that
good.
was something.
That was very
for
recent. That was very recent, though.
They give you an example of what
Wait,
sort of
it
ability
wasn't
he
very
had.
recent. It was like
Right back at you?
yeah, right back at you.
Yeah, you're right. It was a decade ago now.
Yeah.
I keep thinking I'm in.
And honestly, they made a character out of everything. They made the chef mini boss.
Yeah, all the
King
the-
DDD.
Regular
Yeah.
character. King
Everyone was
DDD
there.
was ruler of the land.
Well, he's always ruler of the land.
Yeah.
The thing is with King Dedede is he's not really a villain. He's more of an anti-hero. But the thing is, it's really weird with him. Sometimes he's your main baddie. Sometimes he. Like, Kirby's Adventure was really cool. It was the first game to introduce the copy ability, where if Kirby sucked up certain power to certain enemies, he could get power.
He never
DDD's
really.
just a penguin
He never
with a
originally
hammer.
had.
He never originally had the copy ability. He had Kirby in Dreamland and Kirby in Dreamland 2 for the Game Boy, and then he also had Kirby's Pinball Land. But then when the NES game, which was weird because the Super Nintendo was out, while they made the NES game, Kirby's Adventure came out.
Color was another dispute.
Yeah. Kirby was Shigeru Miyamoto wanted Kirby to be yellow, but Sakurai wanted Kirby to be pink. Yeah.
They decided on
In the
pink.
end, Sakurai made him, so he's
Yeah.
pink.
And
my
eventually they gave yellow for player 2.
Yeah,
Listen, Chicky Boy. I'm digging the pink thing. You know what I'm saying? You know, I mean, no, I think it's kind of girly, but you know,
Yeah.
inside joke. The viewers.
But yeah, the copy ability is what immortalized Kirby because it was a cool idea to use enemies as projectiles, but to take a power from something that was never heard of, especially for an 8-bit game. That was really cool. You had to draw a lot of sprites for that. You had all these cool abilities like Fire Kirby, and there's some prototypes like Freeze Kirby and Ice Kirby were two different copy abilities, but then they fused them together for Superstar. You got a nice little. Just pretend we're talking in a cafeteria.
Which one is ice hair?
Kirby always had. Well, actually, originally for Freeze and Ice, he would just turn blue. It was Superstar that started the
Ice
hat.
hair?
It's Superstar that started the hat thing.
Yeah.
Because they wanted Sakurai. Whenever Sakurai makes a game, he always wants to design it so when you see something, you know it's different from the other thing. He's really careful about making sure people know what it is visually. Like you don't have to figure it out. That's pretty much what makes his games. He's even doing that right now for Smash 4.
Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yes, what's going on back there?
Well, you see, all right, it's time to go back to our side B story. I haven't returned that in a while. Well, you see, what's happening right now is Killer Croc couldn't find Jimmy's house, so he hung out back at James' house, and now they're watching movies together. They're watching Mechagodzilla vs. Godzilla from '93, and they're just having a good old grand old time. Right now. Right now, Killer Croc's like, "Yo, pass me some popcorn," and James is just like, "All right, here you go, man." And he's just eating some popcorn. Like just imagine it in your head right now. I want you to imagine in your head, just Killer Croc eating popcorn on a sofa, watching a movie. Yep. And that is what. But eventually he's gonna leave. He's gonna have a good night's sleep at James's house. I don't know why James even let him at the house, but he's just
I
let.
don't feel like people are even listening to this video anymore.
Hey, we're in our side B.
honestly.
We're in our side B story. We haven't returned to this in a while. I have to flesh it out more. So Killer Croc's gonna return to Jimmy for revenge, but for now he's crashing at James's place. Yeah, it's hard being a villain.
Fascinating.
Well, it's hard being a villain. You can't really maintain a home, you know.
He lives in the freaking sewers. I don't think he cares about having a home.
Well, you know, it's hard to maintain.
The sewers are more hard to maintain than you think. You know.
Yeah, and he's always getting shit in his house. Anyway, back to Kirby. Yeah, after a while, Kirby got a lot of platforms. That's his main thing. But what made Kirby Return to Dreamland for the Wii so special was when Kirby. I don't know who's louder, Tyler snoring or the fucking background and Jimmy taking his phone.
What?
I said, I don't know who's louder, Tyler snoring in the living room. I'm letting him sleep. I'm just trying to
I
decide.
think I got the title for this episode now.
What?
Exactly.
What?
Exactly.
What?
Yes.
Okay.
Just what exactly? What exactly?
What
Yes.
exactly?
What? Yes.
Yes. That's a description. I don't even
Yeah.
write descriptions.
Not exactly.
Okay, so,
Oh, God.
story time. But yeah, back to what I was saying. What made Kirby's Return to Dreamland so special was Kirby hasn't been in a platformer. What?
Had the most abilities.
Well, that too, but what really made it cool was Kirby hasn't had a platformer in a while. Well, a traditional Kirby platformer in a while. Because after Kirby 64, they were really focusing on making sure Kirby... Because Sakurai literally took the fact that Kirby can be anything with his simple design. Sakurai said many times in interviews that what he likes about Kirby is because of Kirby's simple design, you can make him into anything. And he doesn't mean just with copy abilities. He really meant with the games, too. That's why Mass Attack existed, Amazing Mirror, he had pinball games. Kirby Tilt and Tumble was a fun game.
Yeah, because honestly, all he needs to do is just say, hey, Kirby runs into this.
It's not fair.
Yeah.
This hack runs to X. X does this to Y. Does Y to Kirby. Now Kirby can do Y.
Well, it wasn't
With a
their,
nice Z hat.
it wasn't their fault though, because what happened was Kirby's Air Ride was supposed to be the first 3D Kirby game, and they wanted to do that again. They're actually thinking about doing that for the Wii U, but for the time being at the GameCube, they wanted to make a 3D Kirby game because that was never done before for the 64. But it got canceled, and Kirby's Air Ride was made in replacement. Which was cool. We never had a Kirby racing game.
I actually like
before.
that. It's one of the few racing games I actually like.
I didn't like the racing Kirby game. I'm sorry.
Well, everyone likes City Trial.
I didn't like it.
City Trial was my...
Which is why it's coming back.
Do you want to know?
Which is pretty much why it's coming back in Smash Run.
Let me ask you guys this. Do you guys
That's
think
what
it's
it
weird?
is.
Yay.
Do you guys think it's weird that my favorite Kirby appearance in a video game is not actually in a Kirby game, but technically in it was a Smash Brothers game?
Everyone, well, actually, a lot of people, especially Kirby's fan base right now, was introduced to a lot of Kirby's fan base right now was introduced to Kirby in Smash 64.
Yeah, I remember. I actually didn't know who Kirby was until Smash.
Oh, yeah, because Kirby hasn't had an entry in his titles for a long time that wasn't on the Game Boy. And not a lot of people during the N64 days owned a Game Boy until Pokemon came out and everyone bought a Game Boy Color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I think I was on that bandwagon.
Yeah, everyone was at the time.
yeah, everyone was.
And then Kirby, as soon as Smash came out, Kirby 64 came out, sold like hotcakes because everyone loved playing as Kirby with his copy ability in the game.
Okay. Let's go around. Say what's your favorite Kirby game?
Wow, that was a tough one.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, we can do that.
Tyler's favorite is the one where Kirby sleeps, which is pretty much every game.
Yeah,
Actually Kirby
they
has,
always have that joke.
Kirby does have Link syndrome. He always begins the game with him sleeping in a bed or something.
Yeah, and not to mention that one of his power-ups is sleep.
I hate that
Yeah,
power. That power.
It's a joke.
It's like
It's
the
a
hero
joke
of
power.
time, but he never wants to fucking do it. Like,
No,
It's a joke power-up, honestly.
Yeah, no, you know what it is for? It's for they made sleep power up because they want to make Sakurai's a. You think you gotta know about Sakurai? Sakurai's the biggest troll in the gaming industry. You never know what he's gonna do. You never know why he's gonna do something, and he's gonna do something just to piss you off.
He learned from Jack Black.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyway, yeah, what Sleep Kirby was for was let's say you're Let's just say you're jumping in and you're going over a bottomless pit and you're like, oh sweet, power, and you eat it and you fall asleep, you go instantly down the bottomless pit. That's what
Bottomless pit.
Oh, I think you said Obama's pit.
Open your ears.
What? What?
What?
Exactly.
What? Wait, what?
Jimmy's like, well, there goes my headphones.
Oh man.
My favorite.
and then angry, and then like that face where it's like, oh.
Oh, that's how you make that face.
Yeah, it's it's greater
Less-
than sign
underscore.
underscore less than sign.
It needed to be there.
Now, my favorite Kirby game was
Yep.
Kirby in Dreamland.
Everyone loves Kirby and Dream.
I like Epic Yarn too.
Well, that's
I mean,
the first one.
Mine was Nightmare in Dreamland because that,
That
was
was a
the
good one.
first. That was actually the first Kirby game I ever
Yeah,
had,
that was a good one.
and I loved playing.
Well,
it.
Nightmare and Dreamland was Kirby's Adventure. They just souped it up with 32-bit graphics, and they wanted to put more of a focus on Meta Knight because Meta Knight's the shit.
To this day, I still remember the commercial for that.
Oh yeah.
For that, it was James Bond Secret Agent Man. Secret Agent Man.
Oh yeah.
Just redone
Jim-
with the lyrics.
Shadow Draco says it's Return to Dreamland
Or
or Epic Yarn.
I do enjoy
I
it.
like Epic Yarn. Epic Yarn's cool.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
let's
Epic
played
Yarn's
that
a-
game. That was a really fun.
It's a
one.
it was a nice switch of pace.
Yeah, it was just another moment
Change
where
of pace.
Sakurai decided Kirby can be anything he wants, so make him Yarn. It was very creative.
Yeah.
The game was made by Good Feel, and Yarn Yoshi seems to be very similar to it. We don't know a lot about it yet, but I hope it's a lot like it, because I like the yarn idea. It was very creative, very fun. It was something very suitable for Kirby.
I've started to notice a trend with the more recent Nintendo games. They're starting to make themselves more and more realistic. Like
It
with
depends.
with Pikmin, all those realistic objects in Pikmin 2.
Well, Pikmin was always like that. They wanted to convince you you're in a real planet.
Yeah.
Well, they wanted to convince you you're in an alternate version of Earth.
Well, that is Earth. We all know at this point that PNF 404 is Earth. We all know at this point.
Yeah.
What in the holy name of
But
jumping
with the
Jesus H.
now
Christ?
with another.
Well,
case
if
was,
we can go on one of our famous tangents, in Pikmin 3, they named it the planet PNF 404 because the point is it was not Hakatate, it was another planet, and they were trying to discover a planet with suitable food to regenerate the food on their planet. And they went through a lot of planets, so they had to name it by code names to map out the universe. And then they found Earth, and they called it PNF 404 because that's the digit code. I think PNF is supposed to be a Wii reference. I don't know. I think it's supposed to be a Wii U, some sort of reference. I don't know, but whatever.
Well, Pikmin is.
Did you know gaming will do something on that later?
Well, the PNF, the Earth is actually supposed to be a post-apocalyptic Earth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and actually,
They reference that too in
Actually,
Kirby.
yeah, I was just gonna say, in Kirby
Superstar.
in 60, even before, Superstar too?
No, it was
It was
the
Kirby
Crystal-
64, right?
The Crystal.
Yeah. And
No, I'm
Kirby-
talking about Kirby 64, the Crystal,
Crystal Shards, yeah.
I said if you listened, I said the planet's that level's name Shiver Star.
Yeah, because
it looks like a frozen over.
it's really cool, yeah. That was actually really popular. It's their fan theory that I think Miyamoto had confirmed. He was saying that there is a level. I think it's World 5 in Crystal Shards. It looks like a frozen over Earth.
It's World 4.
It's 4, yeah. And
Yeah.
it's the ice level, but it was interesting because I like that Nintendo does that. They throw little things to make you think. I like when games do that in general. It makes you think, It's like, ooh, interesting. Ooh.
What in the holy name of jumping Jesus H. Christ on a pogo stick in the blue hell is going on over there?
We went over this. James is having
some of the things you say.
We went over this. James is having a good time with Killer Croc. With the Batman villain.
We are the most
Professional
professional people on the interwebs.
Yeah.
I never thought I'd say this, but we're pathetic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's what didn't you listen to the song? That's what it means.
Yes. Yeah.
Whoa, right? Tits.
Why everything we do resolves back to us being as mature as fucking teenage
Damn it,
boys?
didn't you listen to the song? It is because we are the most professional people on the interwebs. Back to being the most professional people on the interwebs.
Boy.
Kurt?
I think the Kirby franchise it was simple, little, but you know what?
They always do that.
It always
Sakurai.
delivered.
Yeah.
It always delivered. It
Sakurai's
always had a
just-
good. I mean, yeah, there were some, pretty fucking sucky Kirby games. I mean, like, what was that one game?
Kirby had a couple of flops.
Yeah,
She doesn't
it
get
was-
it. Yeah, Kirby had a couple of flops.
I mean, not.
There's no such thing as a franchise that didn't.
I mean, listen, not that I'm saying, like, I'm not trying to make a point here by saying, like, oh, I can't think of one. It's just, there were some flops that I just can't remember because, like, quite honestly, I don't give a fuck, but, it's...
Well, one thing that disappointed me with the Kirby's 25th anniversary pack was they could have put a lot more games on that. They put the main platformers up to Superstar, and they had a cool training area. I like the history, but Game Boy games didn't take. Kirby was mostly Game Boy games, and Game Boy games were only megabytes. You could have fit that on a Wii disc.
I think James drives a Prius. You hear that?
Oh no, that's Killer Croc's ride.
All my ears are bleeding by now.
No, that's Killer Croc's ride. Killer Croc drives a Prius.
Oh.
Can't you see that? Can't you see Killer Croc? His tail goes out the trunk, and he's just.
Jeez.
It's like it's not my fault. I care about the environment. Beep, beep.
You live in a sewer, you freaking piece of shit.
Hey! Who's trying to enjoy some
Yeah,
Godzilla?
everything ends up in a sewer. I want to make it as best as I can.
Good times. Good times.
Yeah.
Good times. Good times. Well, something I want to talk about is Kirby always has an amazing soundtrack. Everyone loves Kirby songs. There's something you can never forget. Especially in Smash Brothers. I love having Kirby songs. Everyone loves Gourmet Race in Smash Brothers. Especially the remix from 64, the trumpets blazing, I love that shit. It makes you want to fight something. Nothing's better when you have 2 stocks left and the other person has 1. So Kirby just sucks them up and goes and kamikazes himself, so both of them die. But Kirby wins. Oh, that's so nice and cheap.
Yeah.
That's so beautifully cheap.
I had a few instances where I did that and I ended up sparing the life. I didn't die, but he did.
Nice. Kirby. He's just a destroyer of everything. Something else I want to talk about is I'm really interested to see how a 3D Kirby game would work, because in a recent interview I just heard about this the other day. Sakurai was saying that HAL Laboratories is after they're done with Smash Brothers, they actually are interested in making a fully realized 3D Kirby title, because ever since Return to Dreamland, everyone was even before then though, but everyone was saying, why don't you give the 3D thing another try, because Kirby never had his 3D game in the Nintendo 64, and that's when Nintendo made all their 3D games. But the problem was, I don't know why they never did it with Crystal Shards. They were going to do it for the early GameCube.
I really don't think Kirby is made for a 3D game.
I know, I disagree. Playing City
think about it.
Well,
City
Crystal Shards was a pretty good game.
Well,
it
can be
well-sold game.
Well, it was a 2D game. It's just they used the N64 to make it to give more
They
angles.
smashed 64'd it.
Yeah,
so it wasn't.
Think of it this way.
It wasn't a fully realized 3D game. That's how you have to
think of it this way. Think of it this way. Kirby is a very, very simple sprite.
Yeah, well, he was a model.
And it's hard to... Yes, he's simple.
He also shows
how hard to kind of put... Believe it or not, it's harder to put something like that into 3D.
Well, I disagree, because playing City Trial, that was fully realized 3D environment with Kirby, and I thought it played pretty well. I think
the environment was. I'm talking about Kirby. Having him move around and keeping the sprite in shape in a form.
You got to remember, they make Kirby models now. There hasn't been a Kirby sprite in years. They make them with models now.
Yeah.
Models can be too. In fact, these days...
I said sprite because
these days...
Y'all are trying to... You know what? You bring me down from a seasons.
Well, these days Nintendo. Yeah. These days Nintendo just they actually like to use Kirby every time they make new hardware to show off how powerful it is, because they want to show how round they can make Kirby. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
I mean, Kirby's round, and making circles is something that really.
It's a simple design. It's easy to actually show how high quality you can make a shape.
Cells now.
Yeah, and I like how they think about these things, because in Smash 4, it's really cool how they show off Donkey Kong with and Fox with fur, but they were very careful to choose not to do that with Pikachu and Kirby, because they know it would look weird. You gotta draw the line somewhere,
And why would Kirby have fur?
Because then, well, Kirby is supposed to have fur. That's not a skin, that's fur.
What?
That makes sense why he's called a puffball.
Yeah. Well, and his arms are actually little wing nubs.
Oh, that's how you do it.
So he's supposed to be a bird.
Well, yeah, his Meta Knight is an adult version of him, and he has wings. But the thing is, it starts as little nubby arms, but you keep the arms because they turn to hands, and you sprout wings in your back. We don't know anything about Kirby's. That's something that's cool about Kirby. There's a lot of what's the word?
Mystery?
Yeah, there's a lot of mystery behind it.
So he's like a Ditto.
Yeah, you know what? He actually has a lot more theories than you think in the gaming on the internet. God damn. There's a lot more you'd think with that. With Kirby, because a lot of people make theories, because it's really interesting. You can find little nidbits. Remember, Sakurai's a troll. Sometimes he'll put something there just to piss you off and make you wonder why it's
I
there.
thought I had to get another key because I'm missing a key for a room, so I don't know.
Yes.
We do not care.
You don't, Steph did.
Yeah,
Fuck you.
I'm getting into
I'm having a boss fight, so.
So,
I need some volume.
yeah.
Well, I think this video is pretty much shot to shit.
Well, that's okay.
Pretty much.
Well, that's okay. Well, that's okay. Well, she doesn't get it. That's okay, because we're out of time. So, we'll see you guys next time.
I don't see this being one of our more popular videos.
Triple M reporting out.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah.
Bite me, master.
I'll do it for him.
Bye.
I feel bad. I'll do it for him.
Bye,
Bye, V-Gabbers.
Bye, Darklings.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get away with
I'm
that
gonna
now.
do that. Bye, Darklings. Let's do it again.
Bye,
Bye,
Darklings.
Yeah, that felt good.
Yeah.